Yeah.
It's so dark in there, it's like a pub atmosphere in that corner. And then I zoom away like this and show Parliament in the background.
So you gone from a
I
pub.
was in a band playing, I'd want someone to show where the fuck we're playing.
What I think, as you said, quite funny is that, you know, they've done more for housing here than Jacinda's done for an entire term. And we're sort of moving again up to the front.
Amen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, mate. The lights and the cameras here.
Too much my car.
And this is the only part we actually sort of see this hay kind of aspect. Otherwise, it's actually the ground's been in really, really, really good condition. Speaking to, yeah. Well, I was actually speaking to Kelvin down in Picton, and they've got a plan in place to actually repair things, so they'll leave them how they find them.
Yes. Ice watermelon though. Yes.
So they had dessert tonight, which is watermelon. This is really, really nice watermelon too. So I don't know where that's going. I could be the first trumpet. I might be. Will last many more. Will have to suffer. Many, many more will have to die. Ask the government why. Kind of interesting, because that's actually the first Trump sign I've actually seen today, and so there has been apparently it was shown on the camera, but again it's that selective. The frustration that annoys me is that when people look at stuff on the television, they're not looking at it from the viewpoint of how you get the shot. They're not looking at the context, and there has been this constant. You know, as I said, the media will go up and they will go and look for the person that they know is the weakest and the most vulnerable, the crazy cat syndrome. We've even, in fact, seen it on television where they've gone up to some guy who obviously is one of the lives of society is vulnerable. They put him in there to make, of course, look for a representation of COVID. And one of the younger bros turned around and said, no, that's not why we're here, and made it very clear. And actually did a pretty good job of making the media look like tits. You know, MSM, which in New Zealand, the foreign media, at least, Radio New Zealand has managed to hold a bit of credibility in this today at this stage. But overall, when we look at things like, you know, the various news hub and so on, is that when you look at the majority shareholders, you know, you start to look at things like BlackRock and Vanguard, who are also shareholders in Pfizer. So it's not a level playing field by any stretch of the imagination. So we're back out the front there. I said, you know, there's Jacinda, well, I'm making an assumption, I'll verify that, but I'm pretty sure that is, up there is the 9th floor, obviously where all the big deals are, and I'm pretty sure that is her central office up there. And the lights are on there, so obviously busy. Now, kind of interesting thing, other thing I want to show you is that this is Parliament. You can't quite see it, but if you turn around the corner there, that's Lambton Terrace. Now, at the bottom of Lambton Terrace was where my grandfather's optometrist service was. He was a forward observer, and he looked I always like to think he was keeping an eye on the bastards, but he looked straight onto number 2, the terraces, which is the Treasury. Now, what we know from the debt that was created during the period of Rogernomics was when you look at a documentary like Someone Else's Country, and Someone Else's Country, they followed it up with the cover of Rogernomics, and then they look at Ruthernomics. And of course, even before that, they look at what's happening in Chile with guns and coup d'etats, and then they should have showed Rogernomics to show how everything that was done in terms of Chile with the privatisation, the destruction of democracy, managed to be done under Labour, which was that neoliberal Rogernomics government, which was not socialist, it was neoliberal. It was the idea that somehow you could have socialism and have it sponsored by a corporation at the same time. Now, when we follow on with that's in Someone Else's Country, that is preceded by Ruthernomics, which is the National Party, and the point of the documentary is to demonstrate that it was neither National or Labour that were actually calling the shots. What you actually had a situation was that the debt that had been created resulted in basically Treasury, number 2, the terraces over there, calling the shots. As a result of the COVID, you know, we're in serious money. We're literally talking about nearly into the trillions, and if not the high billions that we have borrowed in a very, very short time. It's, by comparison, World War II style.
Brother, don't go anywhere. I'd love to talk to you.
Nah, thanks.